Hello and welcome to the Soulful Mamas podcast. You're with your host Maria and I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining me today. So today we are talking about the Winter Solstice, and which is for us in New Zealand in the Southern Hemisphere on Friday 21st of June. So for you, my friends in the north, you will be celebrating your summer solstice. And I'm just reflecting on solstice to solstice. So 6 months ago, I was just starting this podcast, and I did a little, I think a couple of episodes and did a little bonus episode on the summer solstice. And I cannot believe that we're already here in the other end of the spectrum, and we're now in winter solstice, as we are approaching the shortest day and the longest night. So we have the least amount of light coming in. It is dark so early here, and it's dark in the morning. I'm not sure about you, but I'm waking up and I feel like it's 3 or 4 in the morning and it's actually 6 o'clock. And I mean, generally we wake up around that time anyway, but it doesn't feel like we should be waking up. I really do feel that if this week was a holiday, it would be well received and we could actually sleep in a little bit, or just not even the sleeping in, just going a bit slower, not having to jump out of bed and do all the usual chores and get ready for school and work and all of that, just going a bit slower. I mean, we leave home in the morning and sometimes the chickens are still roosting in the tree. They haven't even come down for their breakfast because it's still kind of dark. The sun's only just rising and they think we're a bit crazy. Same with our little kuni pigs. They come out, but they're actually, we wake them up to feed them. So they too are hunkering down a bit more. And I won't even talk about our dogs because, oh my goodness, they would sleep all day if they could. In fact, they do. Yeah. Anyway, so there is definitely that feel of that darkness and that extra need for nourishing ourselves. I've been making lots of soups at the moment and apple crumble every night. My family think it's great. We're having pudding every night, but it's, I don't know, just this need to feel nourished by wholesome foods, warming foods, and hot water bottles at night. And yeah, just it's very, very, it has that winter feeling. However, the autumnal presence still dances in and out, where it's maybe dark, but then it's not that cold always. It's very up and down, and it will be for a little bit yet, until we can really feel like, the roots have really planted in this season of winter, and this is where we are. And with winter solstice, I love this time of year. I mean, you're going to say, but I thought you loved autumn. I do. That is actually my favourite season. But there's something so incredibly magic about winter, the depths of winter and around winter solstice, and being part of a walled-off community, there is a real appreciation of these festivals, like the winter festival. We have the kindergarten has a lantern festival, and the school has a Matariki winter festival, and I'm all about, it's actually quite a busy time of the year for me because I have various winter solstice and Matariki festivals and celebrations that I'm part of or I attend, or it's such a beautiful time of finding the light. So for me, I have to check myself and get that balance of it's nice to be in community and with family or friends at this time, sharing meals, coming together, being around the fire, reflecting, setting intentions and aspirations for the next solstice season. But then there's also the need for that sacred pause where we do go inward and we are communing, if you like, with the inner light, our inner light, because winter solstice at this point, the shortest day and the longest night, this is the turning point. That sun stands still, and slowly after that day, after Friday for us, day by day, minute by minute, we can experience that light returning. So our days start to get longer again. So that is the promise. The light is returning. Yet in that following 6 weeks, at least, that is when we feel winter. That is when it is cold, and we really do need to nourish ourselves even more. However, with that promise of the light returning and evidence of that sun staying up that little bit longer, we have hope. And with that hope, that our seeds the seeds that we have planted, spiritual seeds or actual physical seeds, when we nurture them in whichever way that looks like, whether that's through rest, whether that's through beautiful words, self-care, watering, whatever it is, we can see these seeds grow into something strong and resilient and beautiful, and that can withstand the test of time. So it is important in this time you hear me talk about the sacred pause all the time, those of you who have been listening for a while, but it is so important to take this time, take that sacred pause. And we can't all go into a cave and hibernate like the bear for weeks on end. I mean, how wonderful. The thought of it sounds quite nice, doesn't it? However, not really realistic. And in New Zealand, we don't actually have animals that hibernate or have the need to hibernate for that amount of time. We don't have the same winter experience as some places in the Northern Hemisphere. But all our birds migrate, and a lot of our animals do hunker down and they rest more. It's their own form of hibernation, and they are in tune with nature and the seasons, the rhythms of the cycle, and they honour that. They recognise what they need, and they do that. They do what that is, whether it's storing food, whether that's sleeping more, creating a nice warm home, whatever it is, they do it. All the birds, when they migrate and they fly, some of them days and days on end, and they do what they need to do, and they just have this inner knowing, their internal inner compass, and they follow that. They don't get caught up on scrolling on their phone one more hour going through Instagram Reels or another show on Netflix or whatever. We all do it. They don't. Nature doesn't. Animals don't. They are solid in their knowing of what they need to do and what they don't need to do. And I think we could really learn from our animal friends. Nature's showing us. So because we can't hibernate in the cave and we can't necessarily migrate to another country for months on end, although some people do, they have the eternal summer. There's a lot of people going to the Northern Hemisphere right now, particularly if they've got family over there or for the holidays. That is a migration of sorts, and they experience a bit more sun and get that vitamin D and come back a little bit more replenished and rejuvenated and ready to stand the test of the rest of the winter that's coming. But for those of us who can't do any of those things, what we can do is take that sacred pause every day. It's a consistent practice. So this can be as little or as long as you want to or / can. A sacred pause might be just allowing yourself a few really big, nourishing breaths in between event, work, activity, whatever it is that you're doing, in between finishing work, for example, and then going picking up your children, or whatever it is. It's allowing that moment, and hopefully those moments can then grow and multiply, and then suddenly that 20 seconds becomes magically 20 minutes and everything is actually still okay. But it starts with the intention of, I'm going to allow myself that sacred pause. And it may be in a place where you are around, there are other people around, and you have to do it in whatever way that you can that feels comfortable. But as it may be that you're at home, and it may be that you can create a type of sacred space where you can have this sacred pause, and in this you can begin to set up a knowing between other people in your home that this is your time. And it takes a wee while for little ones to understand and appreciate this, so it does need a bit of help from other adults if they're around to help you with this, and you them tag team. But it's important that you do have this time for you, and it could be just having that cup of tea, finishing a cup of tea, actually sitting down, drinking that cup of tea and finishing it and it's still warm, and not having half a dozen cups around the house of cold coffee or tea with you know how it is. Yeah, so lots of sacred pauses in order to really fill your inner light up, so that inner light can shine. Because what it is we need at this time, when it's dark and it's cold and you're starting to feel a bit blah, you need to call on the inner light, and that is the inner light that will guide you. It's your inner knowing, inner strength, inner reserves, and it is all-knowing, it is beautiful, it is powerful. And when we can fully embody this light, which is our own, we can step out into the world radiating that light, and that can be a beacon for others. It's almost like you're a little lighthouse beaming out, and other people can remember to do the same. It doesn't mean that you need to give all of your light to others and then you're drained. It's showing being a bit of a way shower in that way. And it starts with the breath. It starts with the intention of, I'm going to take this moment. I'm going to take this sacred pause. And I'm going to fill myself up. Even if it's just a few really conscious breaths. And you don't need a lot of time for that. In fact, you can be doing that as you're also en route to be doing something else to start with. And the more we do this, the more we can see how time disappears. It drops away. I mean, I know you're probably like me, and the dial does feel like it's been fully turned up to, gosh, in a blink of an eye, we are solstice to solstice. However, when we drop into that space of presence and, that place of play where children take themselves to so easily, that space, we can experience timelessness. Time does stand still because we are in this beautiful presence of just being. And in that your light is growing, and that is what shows the way. And you're tapping into, what is it? What is shining from me out into the world? Where is it that I want to walk? What is it that I want to do? What I want to say, what I want to experience and feel and absorb and learn and share and grow, all of that. And it starts with tapping into that inner light, and it's from the sacred pause, it's from the breath, the whispers from the breath, that is where it begins. And in this time of winter solstice, when we're all about harnessing the inner light, appreciating the light around us, and giving great gratitude to the sun because it's returning. And this is why for in the north, when you have winter solstice, it's around the time of Christmas, Jesus, sun reborn, all of that, all of the pictures of the sun returning. Not going to go into it, but there's, we all have our traditions and ways, and we can link to this and it makes sense. But for you, on a personal level, it's about your own inner light, which we each have. And in the depths of the darkness, when it's dark and cold, and we come together as family, as community, and we're lighting our exterior candles, our little lanterns, and we're sharing that light. So the light, the glow that we see, the warmth that we feel, and it ignites even more so that little light within. And so the outer light, the candles that we carry, are a manifestation of that inner light that we hold within ourselves, which is why these festivals coming together with honouring the light are so profound, potent, and absolutely magical. For a child, there is nothing more magical than going outside in winter, rugged up, so warm, with your loved ones, carrying a little lantern of some sort that's maybe handmade, homemade, or that you've bought, with a little actual flame in there, a little candle, a fire, the element of fire, not an artificial battery torch, an actual little fire, and coming together and going for a little adventure, a little walk. It's so magical, so exciting. And then as adults coming together and seeing the awe and wonder in our children, but feeling it and experiencing it ourselves. And in New Zealand, we're really lucky. We've got this winter solstice energy coming in, which is Friday for us, and then the next day, Saturday, we have the full moon, and it's more light, the most illuminated light. So Te Marama, Grandmother Moon, she is shining her light down on all of us and filling us up in that way. So magical. Get a little bit excited if you can't tell. It's such a beautiful reminder of that coming together, and then we go from there into our honouring our Matariki festival, and that is the Matariki is the Māori name for the Pleiades star system, and that's when they can be seen again in our sky line, and it's the return of them in the sky that we can see and acknowledge, and that is the pathway for the new year going forward too. And I think it's really neat that in New Zealand we're starting to get in alignment with our seasons, our cycles. So it's winter, and we're coming to an end of a cycle, and that new year, new light going into the next phase, which you in the north have already, because you celebrate it in December, and then the new year is following that solar calendar of January the 1st. So we down here need to make it make sense for us, because when we fully borrow the Northern Hemisphere's dates for different festivals, they don't always make sense. So they need to make sense for us and where we are. And I think the more we can do that, the more we have these conversations and what feels true and right for us. And the best way to do that is to look outside, and what's nature telling us right now? What do you feel? What do you experience? What are the animals doing? What are the plants doing? What are the trees doing? And what are the humans doing? Many are not paying any attention, and many are trying to pretend the darkness isn't there by having artificial lighting on all the time. Street lighting, it's everywhere. So embrace the darkness, because it's only in the darkness that you can find the light. I love talking about this, and I could talk for such a long time on the topic. If you would like to know more, please reach out, get in touch with me. I'm just about finishing my little 6-week program that finishes on Winter Solstice, and we're ending with the beautiful Winter Solstice ceremony, which will be tomorrow night. And I've been sitting in that energy of it for the last week, just allowing whatever it is to come in. Well, whatever is going to come in will come in, but it feels really potent and really exciting. So that will be happening. That's happening this week. And I will be doing, as the wheel of the year continues to turn, I'll be doing something leading into the spring equinox as well. And I will keep you posted on what that is. If you would like to be informed of what that is straight away, then send me an email or a message, and I'll add you to my list so I don't leave you out. And it's all about coming together. It's online, but it is coming together with women in a sisterhood of sharing and ceremony and learning, growing, weaving, reweaving. It's all about this beautiful, wonderful web of life, and recreating our village for our women, for our mamas. And that's that's my way of putting some threads in there. So yeah, have a beautiful, beautiful week, everybody. It is, whatever you do, it will be perfect. It will be magical, even if it's just lighting a candle and embracing that, and just knowing that the light's returning, even though it is getting colder. But we need the cold, and we need the dark. There's so much necessity and magic in it all. Right, have a soul-filling day, week ahead, and have the most amazing, inspiring winter solstice. Much love. Bye.